I would now like to invite Ambassador Patricia Danzi, Director General of the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, to the stage. It is my great pleasure to hand over the stage to you for the moderation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We now move to the engine room of progress and the engine room of the field of demining. I have two distinguished first panelists that will discuss each other that would have probably not met in an ordinary time. Please give a hand to Nadia Kudryavtseva. Come to the stage, please. She is a deminer for FSD, Fondation Suisse de Déminage, near Chernihiv, northern Ukraine. Please. With us is also our distinguished professor, Farid Rashidi. You are a star in the field of electromagnetics. You teach at EPFL, also a Swiss renowned university. Please come to the stage and join us. Thank you very much. You can sit here. We have prepared a video to introduce your work, the work of the two of you, so please enjoy.
Nadia Kudryavtseva is Ukrainian. She grew up in the Chernihiv region in the northeast of the country. During her school years, she took part in mathematics and physics competitions. Nadia was the class leader and captain of the volleyball team. She owns a bachelor's degree in accounting and audit. Before the war, she worked as an accountant, sales manager, and then social media manager. In February 2022, her life changed. She became a deminer at the Fondation Suisse de Déminage. At first, she didn't think she'd be working here for too long, but she started learning, being curious. She is now a member of an FSD explosive ordnance disposal team. For Nadia, demining is more than just a job. In this profession, she has the opportunity to constantly learn, grow in her career, and contribute to the creation of a safe society in Ukraine.
Farhad Rashidi was born in Geneva, Switzerland. He studied electrical engineering at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, EPFL, in Lausanne, where he obtained a PhD degree in 1992. As a researcher, Farhad Rashidi travelled and spent time in several countries, particularly in Canada and Florida. Since 2000, he has been professor and head of the Electromagnetic Compatibility Lab at EPFL. He uses the techniques of electromagnetic compatibility and the fact that electronic devices and systems can work together in the same environment without interfering with each other in another of his research activity, landmine detection. Unlike common detection methods, Farhad Rashidi and his team developed a high-power electromagnetic system able to destroy improvised explosive devices from a safe distance, a system that was already tested on the field in Colombia. Farhad Rashidi also works on a new technology to increase the image resolution of current landmine detection systems.
We are going to use translation, so be ready with your headsets. The point in common that I found with the two of you is mathematics, science, precision, and the calm to go on with your work. So I start with you, Nadia. You, when you were probably 15 or 16 or 18 years old, you were not thinking of becoming a deminer. We have an image of deminers, mid-aged men, clean-shaved, and maybe coming from a military career. You're the opposite of that. So how come and how comfortable are you in your work? Did you ever experience fear?
When I still was 15 years ago, I couldn't have imagined that I will become a deminer and that I will be dealing with some military aspects of work. So I was sure that I will be dealing with some intellectual work. And I started as a bookkeeper and then account manager, and then I was manager or sales manager. But after the full-scale invasion, our lives have changed drastically, and I lost all my resources of income. And then when I joined FSD, I have never thought that I would stay for long. It was not my initial intention, but after the first 2 months, I understood that I am in love with this sphere, and I was quite good at it. And then I understood that I will continue working in this direction.
Thank you very much. We are all very impressed by that, really. And I think also you, Professor, you definitely have not imagined to work indirectly for the demining of Ukraine. You have an impressive track record, 400 papers written, and please consult his work. I recommend it to all of you. Please tell us, how did your work evolve towards landmine detection, and enlighten us how this actually works.
Thank you very much. First of all, I feel really humbled to be here, sitting next to Nadia, and also having the opportunity to work on this field. But it started with a coincidence, actually. I was attending a conference about 15 years ago, and I was discussing with a friend and colleague who was a professor at the University Nacional de Colombia, and he told me about this problem. He had been affected personally by improvised explosive device. One of his close relatives had been seriously injured from that. And he told me, look, I have an idea, and why we don't use electromagnetic fields in order to remotely destroy these devices. Because these actually improvised explosive devices are very hard to detect, because they are essentially made of plastics. And there are hundreds of thousands of them in Colombia and elsewhere. And each year there are hundreds of people, mostly children, that are affected and injured by these devices. And so I thought that this was a great idea. And we say, why not? Let's try to find some funding. So he got some funding from Colombia. I got some funding from the Swiss government, helped by a center that we have at the EPFL, PeaceTech, that promotes technology for peace. And actually we did, I mean, we knew the problem, but we were doing the reverse. Actually, in my previous work, we were trying to protect sensitive electronic devices against electromagnetic fields. But this time, we tried to do the reverse, using electromagnetic fields to produce deliberate disturbance in order to detonate an improvised explosive device from distance. So we knew the physics, we knew how electromagnetic fields would interact with electronic systems, but the only thing that we did, we saw the problem in the reverse, and we developed together a system that could indeed be used on the terrain, and we showed that even at distances as large as 20 meters, we were able to blow away these improvised explosive devices.
Well, thank you very much. This is saving lives, actually. And if I come back to you, Nadia, what would you expect from science when you're in your work day to day? What do you expect science to develop further for your work to be less dangerous? Or what do you wish, Professor, to actually invent further for your work?
Frankly speaking, all the devices which we use, it's already the outcome of the science, and they have been developed for years. And what I heard from the professor, that they were defining how to explode on distance without the human resources. And I believe that's the best possible solution. If we can do it remotely. I'm not an academic, and I'm not quite a huge expert in it, but if our academia can invent something even more progressive for the demining in Ukraine, and we really believe that it will work, this remote exploding.
Thank you. Do you think it's possible, and what would you need from the field to develop your work, and how maybe 50 years from now, where do you think science will be in terms of mine detection, and what would your contribution to it be?
Yeah. Actually, we would really need, I think a word that I heard today all along was partnership, and this is extremely important. I mean, as a scientist, we are simple-minded people. I mean, we try to identify some problems, and we try to find solutions for that. We try to simplify as much as possible the problem. But landmine detection is really the opposite. I mean, we cannot simplify the problem. It has lots of components that we need to consider in our research. And at the beginning, we were extremely naive in dealing with the problem. And we started to interact with various actors, such as Fondation Suisse de Déminage. And we understood, I mean, we got the necessary information to better direct our research and try to better identify the needs in the field. And this would be actually extremely important for us. I mean, we cannot work efficiently without the help of people like Nadia, the Fondation Suisse de Déminage, and all these organizations in our work.
Thank you. So, Nadia, in 10, 15, 20 years, what do you wish for yourself in terms of your professional progression? And what do you wish for your country? And what would be the call for the room?
First of all, what I would wish to my country where I live, it's first of all have peaceful sky and ending of any combat operations on our territory. And what I see myself in 10, 20 years, it's very complicated for me to imagine where I will be, so I don't want to plan so long term. At the moment, I would like to develop professionally, to become more professional in my career, and I hope that I will succeed in this.
Thank you. Any word for the room, Professor, for the very diverse audience that you have in front of you, governments, international organizations, academics, private sector?
I think I'm, again, extremely happy to be here. I felt really humbled by listening to all the presentation, especially Giles this morning. It was very moving. I think organizing these events are extremely important. Bringing together actors that are active in this field, from the NGOs, institutions, government people. I think perhaps what is missing is the scientists, and I would be really happy to see in the next events bringing also scientists into these events, that they can share their results, they can interact with these people. I think this would be extremely nice. And also, I think, okay, in a few years, maybe in 10 years, you mentioned, Patricia, 10 years, I will be retired, but I will continue to work in this exciting field. Of course, I would love to see our technologies deployed on the terrain, but I think the other aspect of my work, which I cherish a lot, is to raise awareness among my colleagues, professors, and also among students, that this is an important field. They can learn a lot and they can save lives through technology, and I think this is a very tremendous inspiration for students to learn engineering and to continue their work.
Thank you very much for this inspiration. So Nadia, what would you tell to a young, I mean you're young too, but to a younger person in Ukraine or anywhere else in the world, as where they can go and what is possible actually as a young woman to do for their country?
I believe that any area where we work is important. Every work brings its element to the success, to the economic development of our country, and also my personal wish to the younger generation, what I would call them, for not to be afraid, study, try something and move forward. You will succeed.
Thank you very much for the two of you. And the applause goes for all of you. We will make sure that for the next conference, Japan will hear the call for more scientists in the room as well. And the two of you are an inspiration for all of us and for the students. Thank you very much, and keep on doing what you do. You will be outside also showing us how it works, the demining. So after the conference, please also join you there. Thank you very much. And you can leave the stage. Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you.